happens with wind of Rancho Santa Fe and Fairbanks Ranch, also becoming damaged by this fire, being engulfed by this fire.
Okay, Marty, I'm back out here
Go
again,
ahead, Joe.
and hopefully audio will be pretty good for you. Here's what we have working. We are at the corner of Claret and Handrick in Scripps Ranch, where this fire has just swept down the side of a hill. The house behind us, which was a two-story house, in about 10 minutes has been almost burnt down to the ground. But it's one of, get this, 7 homes just within a quick 30-second walk of where Bernard Gonzalez and I are standing. 30 seconds, 7 homes we saw that were either completely destroyed or about to be, and another one which had just caught on fire for 8 homes just in this area. If you happen to live on this cul-de-sac, which is what Claret is, there are 2 homes that have not burned. Both of those have tile roofs. I know that the 2 I'm looking at here that are burning, both of those had wood shake roofs, but I don't know about the other ones around the cul-de-sac. I didn't want to get that close. Further down the street, fire crews have set up, and basically, believe it or not, what they're doing is just stopping these embers. As soon as they fly off the houses, they're just shooting them down with water cannons and with big hoses to try and prevent any of these sparks from moving across and going further down the hill. But even off in the distance, you can see, I mean, it's almost, Marty, it's almost as though you're looking at a movie set where these fires were specifically set this way. 1 house here, 2 houses here. Off in the distance, you've got grass burning and trees burning, and nothing that can be done. And the winds are still blowing fairly strong. Bernard Gonzalez is going to go over and check out the roofs on those other houses around the cul-de-sac here. He'll be back in a second. But the winds are still pretty gusty. We're still looking at 20-mile-an-hour winds here, and the winds that you could see from the fire. Look off in the distance, you can see in the back there's a firefighter trying to spray those embers, as I mentioned, just trying to prevent them from lighting these treetops on fire, because when this fire was really raging, it was just going from treetop to treetop, these eucalyptus trees, and also a lot of palm trees that burned here too, so it really went treetop to treetop. At any rate, I'm looking around again. There's a good 7 or 8 homes that are on fire, and there are only that many firefighters, so there's just not that much they can do. This is really going to be a tough shot. We'll see how our Bob Saxman can do. Another home. Bob, you can turn all the way behind you. There's a fire truck. Excuse us for kind of the rough shot here, but you got to look at this, Marty. Here's another home. This makes house number 9 that is catching on fire even as we speak. This is directly at the end of Handrick on top of a hill. There are 3 houses. That's obviously it's another cul-de-sac, but this home is just being engulfed even as we speak. The flames are just ferociously grabbing the side of that house. I see a lot of mixture of smoke. Maybe firefighters are going to try and stop this, but man, are those flames just being whipped by the wind up to the side of that house. It's just extraordinary. That house has a giant solar water heater on top. If there's water in it, that actually will help out a little bit. And it looks as though it has one of the fiberglass roof tile tops, you know, the shingles more or less, which would slow it down. But again, right along the side of that house, you can see the flames. Anyway, we come back down here. The sky is about as dark as it's ever going to get. I have no idea what time of day it is by looking at the smoke, but I look at my watch, I see it's only 2:30. But man, when you stand out here, guys, it's just amazing. I'm going to hand the microphone over to Bernard for a little more insight here. Hang on a second.
Well, Joe, I just took a walk down Claret Court, and that's a cul-de-sac that comes off of Handrich. And the interesting thing is, and it's going to be a story that is told over and over again in the different neighborhoods, but there's one house at the end of the cul-de-sac completely burned to the ground, the one right next to it completely untouched, and of course